Hey golfers, welcome back to part 2 of our 5-part series on fixing your slice. If you've watched part 1, you'll now understand what's going on and impact to create your slice. And in today's video, we're going to discuss grip, both left and right hand, some ball position, what's called shaft lean, and some shoulder alignment. These are really important steps, as in part 3, 4, and 5, we start building in some swing mechanics and some changes to really fix this slice. So let's get going. So we know from part 1 that the first thing we have to fix is the club face. We got to get this thing more closed. And one of the reasons why a lot of people leave the club face open is their grip. Okay, their grip is usually in too weak a position or running through the palm of the hand also. So what are we going to do about that? How are we going to fix it? And why does the weaker grip make the club face open? So first of all, let's discuss what a weak grip is and what a strong grip is. So think of it that when you're looking down at your golf ball, grabbing your club, if your left hand is too far around to the left or the right as you look at the camera, this is called a weak position, and too far around to the right would be a strong position. But why does the weak grip make the club face open? Well, when we set up to a golf ball and I allow my hands just to hang down in front of me, you'll see that my hand will turn in. Yours will do the same. Nobody will stand this way. Now, if I grab the club in the weak grip position, now I go back to my natural hang, you'll see that I've left the club face open. And then ultimately what can happen is we have this weak grip, open face, and we learn how to swing left of that, and therefore creating the slice. So the left hand is a massive factor in fixing this, and here's how we're going to fix it. You'll notice here on my hand I've drawn a line that's running at a slight diagonal through the base of my fingers. Now this is where we want the club to run through. Now what we don't want to do, which a lot of golfers do, I feel like a lot of golfers know the club is meant to run through this part, but what they do is they set up to the golf ball, put their hand underneath so that they can see this line and place it on. Now the problem with introducing that underneath the grip means that you can't get this hand over far enough. So what we want to do is we want to introduce this onto the left side of the grip so that we can get this hand more over. So here's how we're going to do it. Grab the club on the shaft with your right hand, 45-degree angle, and place the left side of the grip through this line. From here, grab it with your fingers and reach the right hand over this way. Now from here, if you've done this correctly, there's going to be a couple of checkpoints to look out for. We're going to have the crease between our thumb and forefinger running at our right shoulder. And from here, you're going to be able to see around 3 knuckles. Okay, this is going to be a slightly stronger, slightly on the side of stronger left hand grip, which is really going to help us get this club face more closed. Okay, so let's look at the right hand and its role in closing this club face. So as we've now introduced the left hand into a stronger position and the grip running through the correct part of your hand, we're going to talk about the right hand. And what I want you to do is we're going to have this hand come in more underneath the grip rather than on top. Okay, what a lot of golfers do is they maybe miss it to the right and feel that this is a stronger grip. Again, like our scenario where we had our arms hanging down, if I grip the club too far over with my right hand this way, I go to my natural hang, you're going to see I've opened the face. So that is not a stronger grip. Although it feels strong, it isn't. We actually want this hand more on the side or even underneath the grip, to the point where you'll see the crease that I create with my right thumb and forefinger also points to my right shoulder. So this is really, really important. We get both of these creases at our right shoulder. This is going to put our grip in a stronger position, therefore making it much easier for us to swing through with that closed club face. And as we said from part 1, not worrying about path, but actually getting the ball to be able to start more left. So let's look at some setup options: ball position, shaft lean, and shoulder alignment. That's really going to help go with this grip and actually potentially fix the club path a little bit as well. So now that we've got both hands in a slightly stronger position, which is going to help us with the club face, we're going to discuss ball position and shaft lean here. Now, we want to place, as we're working with a 7-iron at the moment, because if we can fix our slice with a 7-iron, we will be able to fix it with a driver. So let's say we're going to place the ball position right in the center of our feet, or more importantly, in the center of our body. Now, why do we do this, and why is this really, really important? Well, let's think. We know that our slice is caused by the path going left and the face staying right. So when we take our ball position, and let's say, for example, I exaggerate, and my ball position is too far forward in my stance. Well, because the golf swing works on an arc, the further forward the ball position is, the more chance I have of catching the golf ball as my club is now moving back in on that arc. Therefore, the path moving left. So as again, this is a fix your slice video. So we are going to favor this ball position a little bit further back in our stance. And here's a really simple way to do it. We're going to approach the golf ball with our new grip, both fees to the right shoulder. And we're going to start with our feet touching, so it's easy to put the ball in the center of that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take equal steps either side of the stick, therefore placing the ball right in the center of our body. Okay, and that's really important because that's going to encourage us to catch the golf ball a little bit earlier in that arc, helping us get the path a little bit more neutral at this stage, but more from inside ultimately with our new grip, and we'll be able to start catching the ball earlier with that face. You might even find you start to hit some little draws just with the grip and ball position. Now, when we're building this ball position, we want to make sure that we have the correct shaft lean. So now that we've discussed ball position and where it should be, we're going to discuss shaft lean. And basically what this means is, what way is the shaft leaning? This would be a neutral shaft lean, this would be a forward shaft lean, and this would be backward shaft lean. We definitely don't want that when we're trying to fix a slice. So now we have our grip and our feet together as we introduce our ball position. We want to make sure that this shaft is leaning in front of the golf ball, okay? So much so that the butt of the club here should be pointing at our left belt loop or left groin, okay? So we're going to build that from this position. Get your grip, and we're round to the right, both feet to the right shoulder, feet touching, hands forward at that left belt loop, and now we'll take our step. Now we've built ourselves into a good position to be able to start fixing this slice. We're going to look at something that has just been made a lot easier by everything that we've done so far. One of the big things I find with people that slice is they get their shoulder alignment address pointing left of target, and ultimately the arms kind of follow that path. Now everything that we've done so far, in that we've made the grip more around to the right. So check this out. As we go, if I move my hands into a weak position, you can see that's opened my shoulders. As I move them into a stronger position, it's much easier to get my shoulders pointed more right, which is ultimately what we want. We've moved the ball position more to the center or further back than normal. When I move it really far back, let's exaggerate, it's much easier for me to get the shoulders more closed. Forward ball position, much easier to get the shoulders open because we have to kind of reach to get it. Okay, so as we do this, we've got stronger grip, ball center, and some shaft lean. Now the last one, I just want you to check. It's likely your shoulders are better from doing all this stuff already, but what I want you to do, once you run through your routine, your grip, your shaft lean forward, equal steps, we're going to make sure that the shoulders point slightly to the right of target. Again, another thing that's really going to help us get down more from the inside and with our grip, be able to start shaping the ball from right to left. So let's recap on what we've done and how are you going to go and hit golf balls with this. I want you to take really good care and attention with how you address the golf ball, especially in this part 2 phase where we can make sure that this part is perfect before pushing on to some swing stuff. So running through that, we are setting up with our feet touching. Okay, at this point you can then grab the shaft up here, make sure your club is running through the right point, and reach that hand over to the V is pointing at the right shoulder. Bring in the right hand, and now the V pointing at the right shoulder also. Set down to the golf ball, making sure at this point you have your shaft lean at your left groin or belt loop. Now once you're here, you can take your step. Okay, now we're in that setup. I want you to go and hit golf balls, and if you're hitting 50 golf balls, I want you to do that before every single shot that you hit. Okay, now as I said, if it's working for you, it may be that this fixes your slice already, and that is brilliant. You can dip out for parts 3, 4, and 5, but if it hasn't, don't worry. It should have reduced it. If it hasn't, check and make sure you're doing these things correctly. And what we'll do is in part 3, 4, and 5, we'll get into some more swing stuff to be able to start fixing this path and face relationship to fix your slice. So as always, thank you for watching. If you could hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, I'll see you in part 3.